troubles. I mean, this is the beginning of World War III. Okay, I'm going to continue going through news and breaking down the World War III scenario that we're already in after the break. Also, this is one of the top stories on Drudge. It's an Infowars.com article by Steve Watson. YouTube restricts video of engineer proving how useless TSA scanners are. Man walked through radiation-firing machines with metal objects knowing he would not be stopped. Because it's all a hoax. It's about billions and billions for Chertoff and others, former Homeland Security head. It's about radiating you, and it's about saving naked images of your body and total domination. Now, everywhere I've flown, when people go through the scanners, most of the time you get a grope down as well. So that's coming up, and they've blocked the video. Now, hopefully, when we get the name of it, we'll be able to find copies of it, because folks are usually good at putting copies up. This gentleman, Jon Corbett, is also joining us coming up later in the next hour to break down exactly what he has witnessed, and we're gonna air the censored video here. Now, again, when we posted the great video of TSA Help Wanted, that I think is one of the funniest things ever, was it so real, by the health ranger Mike Adams, it went completely viral in a matter of 1 hour. It had been blocked via TSA demand, which Google admits they get government demands, quote, for things critical of government. And all it did was make fun of them and show them enjoying groping people and photos of them groping. And then everywhere else it got copied to, they kept blocking it. I know YouTube videos. I mean, I've had one video before, get over 10 million views, just one version of it. And so I can look at the likes and dislikes. In 1 hour, it had over 1,000 likes. You usually get that in a video that gets 50,000 views in maybe a day. So it was going to get 10 million views. And every time that happens, they just block the video. The video's called How to Get Anything Through a TSA Nude Body Scanner. Get it? Put it on every BitTorrent in the known galaxy. Post it everywhere under different names. Post it under different names so the TSA can't find it. Call it Anna Nicole Smith in the Nude or something like that. Just call it random stuff, full spectrum attack. And by the way, that won't work soon because they've got voice print systems like Shazam that are already blocking my voice. They can just, on the whole systems, hit a button and erase my voice everywhere. See, the whole web, as Dr. Stallman said here a few months ago, one of the inventors of much of the internet technology we have today, everything's being built with back doors to censor, track, trace, and control you. It's here. It's on. We've got to fight over the architecture of the web now. Google's now announcing they'll censor anybody they want. They'll track everything you're doing, every Google platform. They will not let you opt out now when you use Google Phone. They're going to listen to you. We wrote an article 6 years ago now when Google put a press release out that they were using cameras on your laptops and computers to watch you. But they said, don't worry, an AI software is recording your surroundings. If it hears a dog bark, it'll then put it in the algorithm to show you dog food ads, was an example. People couldn't believe our article when it was a link to Google.com's own press release. Now, since then, public schools announced in New Mexico, California, Pennsylvania, oh, we're watching kids on the school laptops at home, in the bed, in the shower. They announced it themselves. And still, I was a liar when it was in the Associated Press that they're watching you at home. You understand? Because people know that's Big Brother. So, oh, that's not happening in America. But it's admitted, but Alex is still bad. There's an admitted world government, but he's still bad. Because he said for 17 years that it was being developed. And it's exactly the world government he said, a global corporate private banking system. Well, here it is. New Jersey man in spy case spoke of viewing party. They're trying to put a guy who went in jail for 20 years for putting a webcam in his own dorm room where people were having gay sex, saying it violated somebody's privacy, which it did. But okay, this is one of the top stories on Drudge right now. And they've killed the video, but we found alternate versions and are having them added up there. YouTube restricts video of engineer proving how useless TSA scanners are. Man walked through radiation-firing machines with metal objects knowing he would not be stopped. Now, the TSA has fought the DEA and others on releasing studies that 10 out of 10 times different federal agencies have snuck weapons, bombs, and drugs onto aircraft. The TSA are too busy picking out a beautiful woman, or if it's their fancy, a child, or a man, that's their fancy as well, to grope. They come up in the U.S. and England with print-offs of the naked bodies. They were caught lying, saying they couldn't store them. Turns out they do, of course. They lie about groping people under 12, said they'd stop, never stopped. It's all about, oh, you have 2 ounces of shampoo, you're a terrorist. A woman was arrested for painting her nails on the aircraft. That's an act of terrorism. That just came out. And I told you, it was always about a giant federal power grab. But when he joins us during the next hour, we will talk to engineer Jon Corbett here in the next hour of the popular blog TSA Out of Our Pants. And the video went viral. It got picked up by a whole bunch of newspapers. And then, you know what happened. The video was blocked. And this happens anytime we criticize the TSA in a particularly devastating way. One of the videos, when it went up on Drudge, but they were so slow, it was a day later, 2 years ago, of Michelle here in my office, her 8-year-old daughter at the time and 1-year-old daughter at the time, flying back from Denver. They wanted to go skiing. Never been to Colorado. Great state. And a man came over and was going to search this 7-year-old and the baby. And she said, no, you're not going to do that. And they said, oh, you want a woman to do it because they're girls. And she's like, well, I don't see how that's even better, but okay. And then the woman came over and groped him. So is it okay for a man to go grope men in a park then? It's the same sex? Oh, well, it's not sexual, I guess, if it's the same sex. Really? So this is the Twilight Zone area we live in. And a few days later, they jerked the video of her sitting in this studio, not talking about anything graphic, just saying she didn't want her children touched, but because it was a mother and it was powerful, they blocked that video. Mike Adams makes one, making fun of him. TSA help wanted. Goes mega viral. Would have been watched 10 million times. Guaranteed. I mean, I watched, because the view counts take time to add up. It caches, but I watched the likes in real time. It was like 35, 40 minutes. It had 1,000 likes, 0 dislikes. I know those numbers. That means it had been 10 million in a week. It would have brought them down. It was so funny. And you know what they did? Boop, blocked, parental block. Not a complete block, parental block. Nothing. Got like 100,000 views or something. That's how they roll. That's how they operate. That's what they do. And boy, they were on it. Usually if it's a video they're censoring, but it gets posted 100 other places, they can't get it down. It was taken down everywhere. Some accounts were suspended. And all it did was like have people dressed up like TSA agents going, oh yeah, it's even more awesomer. I'm a secret agent. I'm going to grope you. And of course, it started becoming a meme. Like I knew when Charlie Sheen said winning, I got on an airplane 2 days later and everybody was on the airplane going, winning, 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 winning. Suddenly, I do hear it all over the streets now. It did actually get picked up. Even more awesomer. You see, we deliver devastating truth, and they just go in and take it down. And they're more and more admitting they're going to do this. Google last year said they get request and comply when something is, quote, critical of government. And it turns out all these websites are spied on. Like the Drudge Report by Big Sis. And why does she spy? Because the reports affect badly on the image of the agency, the Department of Homeland Security, the Homeland. I mean, again, they even choose iconography and words right out of fascist nightmares. Like a Kurt Vonnegut satire on a police state. They go with it because the psych warfare chiefs know, don't hide tyranny, flaunt it. Flaunt it. And so now it's happening everywhere. They've delisted us from Google News. I mean, I don't even know how Google makes itself the search on all these apps. I want Google off the toolbars in the office, please. I understand other search engines aren't as good. We've got to stop using these people. You're like, well, stop using YouTube. They own that. Well, I'm going to stay in there. They want us out of there because we're absolutely having a big effect. That's the battlefield. But all of us should stop using it as a search engine because they use that to track us. They put a bunch of strikes on us when I showed you live footage uploaded that got millions of views. It's like 3.5 million views just on our live channel. In 2 days when I sent 2 reporters to Switzerland, Aaron Dykes and Paul Watson. And we catch Google execs coming down the mountain from a chateau back to the Armored Hotel. And what did the Google chief do? Well, he just had a bunch of strikes put on our account and the video blocked. I mean, we're getting their attention. We're up front. We got power. You got power. We got a chance to beat these people. They wouldn't be doing all this right now and showing everybody their censors if there wasn't an effect. And people ask me, do you really think they killed Andrew Breitbart? Gee, he's going to release footage that he says will bring down Obama. By the way, I was on Mancow this morning, and I forgot to tell you guys, he was supposed to be on 11:30. I know he was friends on record with Andrew Breitbart. They hung around a lot, went out to eat and stuff. He talked to Breitbart 2 days before, and he said, what is the video? And he said, yeah, it's basically him with communists, and it's going to bring him down. Well, that's what he pretty much said in the speech, too, but guys, will you call Mancow's cell phone, see if he answers? Just call it like 5 times. He's got like 2 cell phone numbers. Just call him over and over again obnoxiously. And just try to get him to pop in for 5 minutes. But he's just one more witness who talked to him 2 days before he died. And he said, what is it? Please come on my show. Please tell me. And he's like, I can't, but it's, it's him with communists. It is going to, quote, bring him down. And then 6 hours before he's set to release it, he leaves a bar where he had 2 drinks with a bunch of people around him at a table, some he didn't know, and drops dead. And they tell you instantly, oh, he died of natural causes. But the coroner says, no, we're looking at foul play. We're covering all the bases. We're looking at everything. 6 to 8 weeks, we've got to test for everything. I mean, folks, if I die of a heart attack, they say, and 2 hours after I get to the hospital and they say I'm dead, they tell me, they tell you it's natural causes, nothing to see here, move along. Boom, boom, that's the earmark. And then he's going to release something that's going to destroy Obama that day. That day, you'd have to be a naive moron. But I was called a Kool-Aid drinker by at least 4 newspapers. By the way, most talk show hosts talk about themselves all day when they're in the press. I don't find that exciting, except when it's an example of how we're winning and a testament to how we're winning. But you type Alex Jones into Google News, even though they're censoring my websites, hundreds of articles from the Toronto newspaper to the BBC to just everything, saying, look at the kook Alex Jones. He's been discredited. Those Stratford emails, which, by the way, our listeners told us about last week. They've been out for weeks. Those Stratford emails, they call him a kook crazy because Alex Jones thinks bin Laden wasn't really thrown in the ocean. But then Stratford, private intelligence group, I guess founded in Louisiana and based here in Austin, is there saying he wasn't really thrown in the ocean. But that itself is a scam right there. Folks, bin Laden, according to our high-level sources like Dr. Pachinik and others, on record was dead in 2002. And, of course, the doctor that led them to his compound was a CIA agent. And now Pakistan has released bin Laden's family, as I predicted last year they would, because they were never there. That was all a cutout. And so the Delta Force unit that went in the building and got on the aircraft, it blew up. And then those that spoke out, they packed 23 of them on an aircraft and blew it up. And it turned out the rescue mission they were going on wasn't a rescue mission. It was all made up. They're killing the people that could cover up. They're killing the people that are exposing the cover-up.